Good morning, beautiful people. My name is Chrissy. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for even just stopping by to take a peek. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be but in my garden. The birds are chirping, all kind of wildlife moving about. The lizards are having insects. The insects are running. There's a bird right beside me making a nest. It's just lovely. But today, what I want to show you, what I want to share with you today, is all the herbs and medicinal plants I have growing in my garden. So one of the medicinal plants I have growing in the garden is peppermint. It's big, it's lush, and it has so many beneficial uses. Right beside the peppermint, we have leaf of life. Jamaicans love leaf of life. It's good for respiratory challenges. Now, this herb is one that is loved by Jamaican women for menstrual issues, and this is called dog blood. Now, I expressly grow this one because of the breast cancer. This one is Guinean weed. Now, Guinean weed takes over your garden like crazy. Right now, I have Guinean weed growing all over my yard. It's very hard to control, but it's very good for you. As I work on improving my garden, it seems that my garden is constantly in motion, aside from the growing plants, that is. So, here I have aloe vera. Aloe vera you find in most Jamaican homes, or at least in the neighborhood, so you can get some from your neighbor. And this cactus we call tuna, I am on a new protocol which involves taking tuna, and so my mom got these for me, but they started growing and I decided to plant them. This is my garden outside of my garden. Now, as I said, I'm on a new protocol, so there are many herbs that I need to be taking. A herb I have growing on the outside of my garden, it's growing on the inside as well, is vervine. And immediately beside the vervine we have French thyme. Now the French thyme grow like, I don't know, these herbs, they grow like weed. Interesting story about this one. I planted this in the Easter season. I got a baby plant from my mom. Interesting, this is called John Charles, and I dreamt about this bush. I heard the name growing up, but I didn't know it nor know what it was. And one night I went to my bed and got a vision with 3 herbs that I should take, and John Charles was one of them. And so, of course, I am now growing this in my garden. This is another herb that I have growing in the garden, and it's a wild basil. I have several plants of them growing in my garden. Guys, this list is not exhausted at all, because in addition to the cultivated herbs, I have wild herbs growing in my garden. Today I want to show you the ones there's some deliberate intention about growing in the garden. Now this is the regular domestic basil I have growing. I have basil growing all over. I tend to interplant basil with other crops in the garden. Here I have some purslane. Now these are volunteer plants in the garden, but purslane is a medicinal plant, which it's a food that I'll now be incorporated in my protocol. Of course, I can't ignore my rosemary. My rosemary It's getting so woody, but I love it. We use it a lot in meals, and I use it for my hair and so on and so forth. So you would know, of course, that I recently planted these thymes, and they're doing so well in the garden. Um, oh, not a medicinal plant at all, but I need to show you something. I planted these strawberries, as you know, quite recently. I think this is my second week of planting them. 1 week after planting them, I came out and I saw runners. So I don't think I'll get any strawberries this season, but I'm thinking I won't bother buying anymore, because since they're already putting out runners, pretty soon I'll have a lot of plants. Now I have this plant right here. It too is a volunteer from, I think, pieces that we threw in, and it's in Jamaica, Shemi Maka or Shemi Lady. It was one of those herbs I got in the dream. Guys, as I said, they're volunteer herbs in the garden. These are milkweed, which is very good for you. I think they're good for asthma. Now this is my fever grass. I'll be transplanting this all over the place, but I have fever grass in the garden as well. And I have this mint as well. This, I don't know if this is a correct name, but we know this as colon mint. Oh, mint, they spread like wildfire, except for the peppermint, I think. Peppermint tend to stay and just push out, but these mint, my God. So here I have more of the tuna, but I'm actually showing you the lime. Lime is a citrus fruit, we all know, but in Jamaica, lime is so medicinal. It works for tummy aches, gas, that kind of thing, right? So that's it for today's video, guys. See you in the next one.